Welcome back to week 8 of Couch Readings. I'm your host, Ryan Thornhill, and I would just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone from the viewers to the actors and the playwrights who have been involved in the past 8 weeks of our Couch Readings. I have had so much hosting this series and keeping the theater alive. This week, we are excited to share with you our live stream table read of I'm Your Rope, a fun and quirky short play by Somebody Jones. Simon and Lilah's relationship is like a game of tug of war, but sometimes one of them is the rope. In a forest that's a little more magical than the ones in our world, Simon and Lilah finally decide what they're going to be: friends, best friends, lovers, or something a little more complicated. We are so very excited to have the playwright with us here today, and she will join us after the reading for a discussion. This week, we have 2 British actors joining us. I would like to please welcome Elaine Ward and Ben Thorne. Hi guys, thank you for being here with us today.
Hi.
Now, can you guys go ahead and just give us a little brief introduction about yourself? We'll go ahead and start with Ben.
Oh, good. Put me on the spot. I've been acting professionally for about 8 to 9 years now. Predominantly done more theatre, a lot of open air theatre around the summer, touring up around the UK. I've also done the Shanghai Theatre Festival a couple of years ago, Romeo and Juliet there. And yeah, obviously with all that's been going on at the moment with regards to the virus, there's not been much work on, so unfortunately I've had most of my work cancelled, but happy to be part of this, to be doing something again.
Brilliant. Thank you again so much, Ben, for being here. Elaine, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I've been professional for just a few years, really. Again, like Ben, mostly theatre. Happy to take on any acting format that's available. Really, I love all the different styles. I've recently written my own short film, which was picked up at Birmingham Film Festival. So that was just to do some acting, really, and then found I enjoyed writing as well. So hoping to do some more writing. When we were thrown into lockdown, I thought, great, a chance to do lots of writing and acting and be creative, and then just got really lazy. So it's lovely to have the opportunity to do this and actually just get those muscles working again and get the buzz of acting again. So it's good.
Amazing, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. So let's not waste any more time and jump into our reading. So we present to you I'm Your Rope by Somebody Jones.
You had some?
No.
You did?
Did not.
Didn't you?
I promise.
Promises, smomises.
I promise on the Grey Oak.
You can't promise on something that isn't yours.
It's everybody's.
Which means it's nobody's. Swear.
No.
Swear it.
No.
Open your mouth.
Why?
I'll prove it.
All right.
Yeah, I was right. Your teeth match the marks in it. You had some.
Did not.
What did it taste like?
I didn't.
But it was delicious, huh?
Oh, that's gross.
Juicy, wasn't it?
I swear on my dad's life.
It's no good to swear on somebody else's life.
I swear on mine.
I know you didn't have some anyway. You wouldn't do that. You're a good boy. I was just teasing you.
I hate it when you do that, Lilah.
Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, always.
How'd you do it anyway?
A rock.
A rock? No.
I don't like knives. I've been practicing my slingshot. Want to sing?
Sure.
Right. See?
Well, hit something.
I'll aim for that tree.
Simon is as good of a shot as he is a baker. Half the time he makes something incredible. Half the time you question if it's edible.
Huh.
But I'm just warming up. Wait.
You can guess what happens next.
How did you kill this bird, Sims?
I promise that's how I did it. Like, I was there for a long time, maybe too long, but it's dead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Check.
Simon opens a box and Lilah shakes it. He screams, she laughs. This is their relationship.
Squirmy Simon.
Not nice.
It was funny.
What about your end of the deal?
Why, I have no idea what you're saying, sweet Sims.
You said if I killed a kingfisher, you'd go out with me.
I don't remember this.
Lilah,
Why do you want to go out with me?
you're beautiful.
That's not enough.
Like, you're wicked funny. Well, I mean, sometimes you mean, but I think you only do it because you like me. Like, you're really good at directions. Like every time I go for a walk, I take a blue string with me. I tie it to every tree just so I can find my way back. But you always know where you're going. You never get lost.
No, that's true.
And I always learn something new when I'm with you. You know, loads about birds and bones and stars.
Oh, you make me sound like a teacher.
And you're beautiful. When the light hits your hair, I see sparks of ruby and gold.
My hair is black, Sims.
No, you haven't looked at it right, not how I have.
And how have you?
Your eyes are like deep brown cat eyes, and your nose,
It's just a normal wide nose.
well, I like it. And
You can stop now, Sims.
you're the only one I let call me that. You know that.
Well, then I'll call you by your full name. Simon.
So, will you go out with me?
No.
Oh, but you said.
You know that I'm old enough to be your mum.
Yeah, but you look so young.
It's the amulet.
Oh.
Also, we can't go out because, well, you know how in all the stories the princess falls for the prince?
Yeah.
Well, if I was in one of those stories, I'd fall for the princess. Oh, don't look so sad, Simon. We can be friends.
Thought we were friends.
Well, best friends. Do you have a best friend?
A few.
Okay, well, do you have a girl best friend?
One.
Okay, then, well, I'll be your favourite.
You can't decide that.
Why can't I?
You just can't.
Do you tell your other girl best friend all your secrets?
No.
Why not?
She's a girl.
Then I'll be different. I'll be your bestest girl best friend who you'll tell your secret and we'll tell each other our secrets.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Well, you go first.
I already did, remember? The princesses?
That's not a secret.
The foxes don't know. It's easier to trick people when they don't know a lot about you.
Okay,
You accept?
I accept.
Your turn.
I have a birthmark on my bum that looks like Antarctica.
What?
You want to see it?
No, put your pants up, please.
Okay.
You got to tell me a secret.
Like what?
Something that not many people know, or something that nobody knows.
Don't know my mum.
What do you mean you have a mum?
Yeah, Sess and I look alike. It's coincidence. She's not my real mum, not my birth mum.
Oh?
Well, I don't remember my birth mum. My dad doesn't talk about her much. Too painful even now.
What happened? If that's okay.
It's okay. My dad said she was a palm reader. That's how she made a lot of her money. Like, she'd even do it for free. She'd stop people in the market, tell them how many children they were going to have. Like this one time, she told this pregnant woman that she was going to have triplets, and she got so angry that she hit her husband, like it was his fault.
Well, it could have been genetics.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but yeah, she loved people, talking to them, being around them. Dad said they didn't have much money when they got married, but you wouldn't know it. The wedding was massive. But my mum wasn't used to living in a house. Like, she travelled all her life. That's why she got so good at palm reading and making friends. So when they got a house, she just didn't know what to do with herself. Always moving. He said even in bed, even in her dreams, it was like she was running, and he'd have to hold her to keep her falling off the bed. He said it got real bad, like when he went to work. She didn't know what to do with herself with her hands. Like, she'd dirty the house up and then clean it again. Like, he'd come home and the door would be smashed in because she wanted to know what was inside of it.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. But when she got pregnant with me, he felt relieved, and he thought that it would keep her busy. Or at least slow her down, but it wasn't true. He'd still come home to smash doors. Well, the doctor warned him. He said, you could lose the baby, lose me. So he asked her, he begged her, but the doors were always in pieces when he came home. So he tied her up. Well, not like that. Kinda. He tied her wrist to the bedpost, just enough room for her to reach the bathroom. And he took off all the doors, but he gave her food and lots to do, books, movies, maps, but it weren't enough. No. Her heart was always beyond the window, just outside. So she could get outside. We played that tug of war until I was born. He didn't tie her up anymore, but he did have the neighbour check up on her. And she seemed good for a bit, but I became a new rope. He told me that this one time during bath time she left, hopped out the window. The neighbour found me and I was still in warm water. I wasn't crying, just looking out the window. And that's it. Not seen her since.
I'm really sorry.
Don't be. Sess has been a great mum. She found me and my dad a year later and put all the pieces back together. We have new doors. It's cool that I look like her too. No one asks questions. So there you go. That's my secret.
Thank you
For what?
for trusting me.
So what do you want that bird anyway?
It's a surprise.
I hate surprises.
Oh, you'll like this one.
Promise. Best friend.
Promise. But you've got to go home before your dad gets worried.
Yeah, you're right.
Want me to show you the way back?
No, it's all right. I've got my string.
Be careful.
Yeah, always.
And don't talk to the foxes.
Oh, no dog.
Bye, best friend.
Bye.
Simon follows his string home. The sun is setting. You can, in fact, see the gold and ruby in Lilah's hair when the light hits it. Lilah opens the box, and the bird is in. She whispers to it.
Take good care of my boy. I haven't always been good to him. I promise to do right by him now.
Lilah throws the dead bird behind her shoulder into the pond. She bows and leaves. A moment. The bird emerges from the pond. It's disgusting yet beautiful. A multicolored zombie bird. It flies in the direction that Simon went. Blackout. Awesome. Oh. Thank you guys so much. That was brilliant. Such a good play. Now, before we jump into a discussion, I would just like to go ahead and introduce you all to the playwright, Somebody Jones.
Hello.
Hi there. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It was such a fun play.
Thank you.
Now, just real quickly, from hearing what you read, why don't you just throw out some thoughts that are running through your mind hearing it for the first time?
Ooh, it was like the word that I use to describe it is gritty. And I love when those moments come out. And I mean, that's just a testament to Ben and Elaine. I mean, you guys really found those gritty little moments. Like there was one moment when Elaine said, or no, Ben, you said, oh, that's gross, because Elaine, you had made this little noise. And that's what it is. I feel like when you can find those like nasty, weird little noises, that's what the play is about. That's like the feeling that
it's even more of a testament to them now. You know, those are the things that you expect to see when someone's on stage and you're sitting in the seats in the theater. But to get that here in a live stream when we're sitting in front of our computers, that's even that makes it even better.
I completely agree.
Amazing. Now, first, before we go into a discussion about specifics in the play, what I like to do as the facilitator of our reading here, I like to ask the actors just a few short questions to spark some conversations about the piece. So first one for Ben and Elaine, I'd like you to give me a one-word response or a short phrase that expresses your gut level impression of the play. Let's go ahead with Ben.
A one-word response.
Or a small phrase, if you can't put it into one word.
It sounds cliche, but magical, because you never know how. Like there's always that. How did they do that type of thing? Especially with magic. It's what am I trying to say? It's obviously we haven't got too much of the fantasy until the bird emerges at the end with this little scene.
Yeah.
But it's that how has the mother kind of got away with getting back into this person's life, and what is her intent with that as well?
Of course.
That's a bigger phrase.
No, that's completely fine. No, that was great. Okay, Elaine, same question to you.
The first word that jumped into my head when I first ever read it was quirky, because it's really different, and I love things with a twist. That you think you're going down one route, and then all of a sudden it's, oh no, it's not what I thought. And I love that, and I think it's really there's so much going on. It's so sort of lighthearted and fun, but then it's not as well. It's the relationship between the two is really intriguing.
Yeah,
I'm quite sure. Yeah,
makes you want to continue listening. Like it's what is her intent, and that's the bit that captures me the most, is what's her intent in one, being back in his life and not making herself known as his mother straight away.
Of course. Now, this wasn't a question that I had planned on asking, but we kind of got to it. What I do when I do these readings is sometimes I send out the plays just to get some second opinions and ideas from people that I know in the industry. And I sent it to two different people. And I had one person tell me that they were reading it and straight away they knew that it was his mom. And then I had another one who read it and she didn't know till the twist happened. You two, when you read it for the first time, where did you know right away, or was it till that very moment at the end, for both of you?
Yeah, right at the end for me. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Well, as you know, Ryan, I messaged you because I knew it was I was told that it was a mother-son piece.
Yes.
I messaged you about halfway through reading it. I was like, have you sent me the right script?
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, should I read on or should I just wait for the real script? So
No, for sure. Yes,
I
no,
didn't know until the end.
I was the same way. I was the same way. I didn't realize till the very end that it was his. And it was one of those things that it was just that magical moment where you're reading the script, and sometimes you don't really get that, but reading this one,
and then you want to go and read it again.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that moment happens. You're like, oh my goodness, let me finish it so I can go back to the top and read it through again because it was that amazing to read. No, 100%. Okay, great, perfect.
It's a Game of Thrones cliffhanger, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Okay, now the next question I have, just really quickly before we jump into some specific ones. What moments for you, Ben and Elaine, stood out? In this, I know it's a short play, but were there any specific moments that really stood out to you both? We'll start with Elaine this time.
I think when Simon's talking about his mom and how she was sort of like a gypsy and sort of couldn't be tied down, and that monologue is terrific. It really paints a picture. You really get an idea of who she is, and then reading it as that character that he's talking about without him realizing he's talking about her to her. That's really interesting as an actor to sort of react to, because initially I reacted to it thinking, oh dear, she's, this is that woman, and then it's like, oh no, that's actually me. And then I was thinking about the effect that I'd had on my son by leaving him as well. So there's an awful lot in that speech. There's so many different angles to it.
Of course, 100%. Ben, go ahead.
It's the moment where she says, I'm old enough to be your mum.
Yeah.
Because it is that kind of, why not just admit it there?
Yep.
Yeah. I think as well, like when you, in testament to the writing, when you, like all good plays, scripts and films kind of throw you those clues earlier on, that when you do watch it back, you're like, she says it there. She says she's the mom there, or she's old enough to be the mom there. And
of course,
I think it's just having those little clues earlier on, and then obviously when you read it back or you watch it back or you whatever, then you're like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, just spawning another question. This is why I like to do these short little questions, because it does tend to spawn other questions that could be part of a bigger discussion. Elaine, for you, why is it, do you feel that Lilah is in this world? Why is she here? How did she get there? Where did she come from?
Wow.
I know it's a loaded question for sure, 100%. I just wasn't sure if you had any, insight as to, reading it and then trying to take on this character, if you thought this is why she came in at this moment or anything like that.
I think it's interesting that she doesn't reveal herself to Simon straight away, and the relationship that they've built, which is obviously they have built a relationship, and it's very playful and it's very close. And I think it's she really wants to know him, how he turned out, to understand his character and his personality completely, without him having any sort of self-consciousness that who is revealing it to. They've got a really close relationship, but yet he doesn't know it's his mum. That's really unusual, I think.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, it's almost like it's flirtatious as well, which is a bit it's a different angle to come from, but she's absolutely in control of it. So yes. It all adds to the mystery, I think, that she's almost an ethereal sort of mystical sort of character, sort of otherworldly, but obviously sort of
I agree
in both.
So we have two on that same kind of subject here. We've got two comments from some viewers. I'm going to pop both of them up. I'll just read them and then we can go from there. I've got one here. Yes, I had to stay to the end. So many videos I can watch these days, so it's a good sign. Yeah. And then the second one was felt like something was going to happen, which kept me going. So it's the kind of goes into what we were talking about. It's just like and us reading it from a director, host, you guys as actors, we knew that we had to keep going. And then even once we did make it past that twist, we wanted to go back and read it again.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'm so happy to see that the people that have been watching are feel the same way that we do about it and are as connected and as interested and invested as we were, which is such a great sign. Now, I want to jump in here to some specific questions that pertain specifically to the play. First off here, I have for Ben and Elaine, what do you think these characters need from each other? Let's go ahead and start with Ben. I could have been that person that prompted you beforehand and told you what these questions were going to be, but I decided that I would let you. I want to know what it is. We just fresh read it. What's going to pop out right from there?
Thank you. So, thank you for that, Ryan.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go.
I mean, I think initially he just wants companionship from her. I think it is as simple as that, really. He says he has one friend that's a girl. I mean, we discussed obviously that he's probably meant to be somewhere maybe around, obviously maybe somebody can tell us whether he's around his mid to late teens, something like that. So he's interested in girls.
Yeah.
And it probably comes down to something as simple as that. He obviously doesn't know it's his mum, so it might be that initial attraction or just the fact that a girl is interested in him and would like to spend time with him.
Of course, yeah. Elaine?
I think as a mother checking in on a child that she's essentially abandoned, there's got to be a real root of forgiveness or she needs to know that he's okay. I would imagine any mother that gave up a child needs to know that they're okay.
Yes.
But I think there could be an element of that he's okay and that he's understands why she had to do what she did, why she had to leave, and there's some kind of I think you only get peace when you're forgiven by the person that you've done it to.
Yeah.
And I think there's something in that for her.
No, I agree. Yep, I agree 100%. Now, another question that just popped into my head. This would be for you, Elaine. How was it, you playing the character of Lilah, how was it that you felt when Simon went on to say how, yes, his mom left, but this new woman in his life, it's been okay. It's been all right. She's been good. How does that make you feel?
You can, Elaine or as Lilah?
Both.
Okay. As an actor, you've got choices. You can choose which way you want to go with it. And I chose to be happy that somebody was taking care of my boy, and that he was good. He's done okay, and that he wasn't bitter or angry or damaged by what I'd done. So that's the route I went down. She could have felt very hurt that he's got a new mom, but I think the fact that Lilah left, I think she needs the reassurance that it wasn't, because it was quite she left for her, but then I suppose if she was so unhappy, she wouldn't be a good mom. or the best mom that he could have. And if he's got a new mom that stepped in and been the best mom that he could have, then that's reassuring for her.
Of course, 100%. No, good, yeah. Okay, so next question is to you two, Ben and Elaine. Does it seem drastic that Simon would kill a bird for Lilah? Ben?
No, not really. No, never done it myself. But I think if he is looking for that kind of, like, if he is looking to impress her and to bring her something, I don't think that she's necessarily. I mean, I can't remember what it said. I don't think it says in that scene whether or not she asked him to kill it. She might have mentioned that she needs a bird or she needs a kingfisher, and he's gone, oh, okay, this is my kind of way to impress her. This is what I'll do. I'll get it for her.
Yep.
I suppose it's that weighed out the pros and cons. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's lying and he just happened to come across a dead kingfisher and has gone, yeah. I'll just say I did it. Yeah, I did it with my slingshot because I'm cool.
Yeah. I mean, typical teenage boy move.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Elaine, how do you feel about that?
What was the question again? Can you repeat it?
Yes, did it seem to you that it was drastic that Simon would kill a bird for Lilah?
I think it just it signifies what a spell she's got over him. You know, that you know, he's so sort of beguiled by her that he would do that.
Yeah. I mean, something like, along the lines that he would do almost anything for her, because that's just how into her.
It's the older woman thing as well, isn't it? You know, they're quite, when you're young, the affections of an older partner is really special. It's something sort of special. I can't vocalize it.
No,
drawn to
that word,
like the approval of older people, aren't you?
Yeah. Especially when you're that sort of awkward, sort of geeky, sort of teenage. You know, to have sort of an older woman who seems like quite sort of mystical and otherworldly. You know, that would be very fascinating and quite something.
Of course. Now, I do have one more question I'd like to ask, but I want to jump over to you, somebody, and just kind of let everybody know the how this play came about was us here at Thornhill Theater Space. We hosted a 12-hour play fest, and somebody decided to join and take part. And what it was is we took 12 hours on a Saturday, and we did it through a Facebook group, and everybody just came in, and what they were supposed to do in the first 10 minutes was write down as many ideas as possible, throw them into a hat, and then at the end of that 10 minutes, pull one out, and that's what they were going to write about. And they had 12 hours to do it. But then throughout the whole process, they were going to use the Facebook group to kind of, comment and ask questions and do everything to kind of get them through it. And this was the final product of that. So could you go ahead and just elaborate your process through doing that, and then how you got to where we are and what we read today, and how that was for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was great to have that pressure and deadline. I'm definitely one of those people, if I don't have a deadline, who knows when it's going to get done. So that was great. And then I think it also helped that I was reading this book of short stories by this author named Kelly Link, I believe. And all the stories are so weird. You feel like you're just dropped in the middle of something, but it never ends. And it's weird to read a story that just has a middle. It doesn't have a clear beginning or a clear end. And sometimes they're, magical, fantastical. Sometimes they have some horror in them. Sometimes they have some past in them. So I think I was already in this very weird space. And then the idea just came, and I was just like, let's just see where it goes. And so it was great to have that support of a group too, especially when I was writing and had a writer's block and was getting notifications like, oh, I finished my play. Oh, I finished my play. And I was like, oh, I finished my play.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, of course, and I know a lot of people that's what they need. You know, they could have a brilliant idea, but if they don't have that deadline that says I have to have it done this time, or I've got 10 other people that are saying I've finished mine and I finished mine, that just wouldn't get done. So, I mean, the plays, I mean, we had probably about 10 different plays from the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, and all that was submitted, and it was just so nice to read all these different plays from all these different countries, because you get different feels and different genres and all that stuff. And it was just so great. And I read this one and it just stuck out to me. And I was like, we need to read this. So I was so happy that we were able to, you know, make it part of one of our couch readings. And I thank you for being part of our Playfest, because, you know, I know that just being involved just helped everybody else out, because you are all there for each other. And that just made it such a nice community for everybody to be able to, you know, write, which was the purpose. So our last question here, Ben and Elaine, is there anything that you would like to know more from somebody based on her play that we could go ahead and discuss? Let's start with Elaine.
What happens next? What happened before? How long have they known each other? How did she get back into his life? Was it accidental? Was it deliberate? Is she ever going to reveal herself to him? But then you don't necessarily need that answered either, because it's just nice to wonder as well.
Well, and that's like she was saying when she was writing it. It was like the whole purpose of just knowing the middle of a story. But then I'm curious to piggyback off of Elaine there. Were those things that you knew when you wrote it, or are those still mysteries to you?
I definitely have more of a clear idea of what was happening.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Ben, anything you'd like to know?
Pretty much the same as Elaine, really. I suppose as an actor, you do want to know what's happened before, just so you can got something to base your performance off. And yeah, just like any cliffhanger, any twist, you want to know what's happening next. And suppose as humans, like, you just want a clear ending on something.
Yeah.
So you do want to know what happens. You do want to know maybe if what's going to happen if the dad and Lilah see each other, or I mean, I always had it in my head when I read it that morbidly that Lilah was actually dead and this was a guardian angel type of thing that was looking over him. Yeah. And that's where the magical stuff came from.
Yeah. No, I think that, yeah. That angle on it, I think.
A bit Jojo Rabbit, but less.
Now, do you think that, because, I mean, and it's not questions that just one person reading it would come up with, like Elaine had. There was a lot of questions there. Could this be something that you could take all those questions and develop this into something that's more of a full length, you know, an act 1 and an act 2, and answer all those questions?
Yeah, I mean, I've been toying with it. The thing that I always hate is, you know, when something goes on too long. We all know the TV shows where it's just like, wow, we're on the 12th season. Like, I think about The Walking Dead, and I used to like it so much. And I'm like, what season is it on? So,
too long.
Yeah, exactly. It's too long. It's on season too long. So
everyone's dead.
Yeah, I mean, Rick is gone. What's the point?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so I'm in that state where it's interesting where it's at, and I really like where it's at. Yeah. So I don't want to, you know.
Well, and it spawns all these questions. You know, what more could you want from a piece of art, to have somebody sit down and listen to it, and then be able to have this intense discussion about it, because they just don't know. You know, that's the beauty of it. That's what I think.
I think really you can sometimes spoil things by rounding off the edges too much and just, you know, tying it up with a bow. It can be a bit. It's nice to let you sort of wonder and think and Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely love that. I love the idea of something, from a directing standpoint, d- leaving the audience with something to go home with and think about,
But
and
to
make their own
discuss,
decision.
yeah,
Yeah,
to discuss with people, like,
yeah,
oh, I think this happened. No, I think this
Yeah.
happened.
of course, of course. I love that. I think that's
Yeah.
one of the magical parts of what it is that we do. So yeah, I mean, 100%, 100%. Now I'm gonna go ahead and send it to our wrap up stage here. Like what I'd like to do every week is I like to feature things that our talented actors and playwrights have coming up for us all to enjoy. Now, both of our actors have numerous events coming up, from writing to acting and filming. And I love to hear that even though, as a community, we have been locked down and unable to perform the way we are accustomed to, yet we're still all trying to make the best of it. So Ben and Elaine, they both have numerous things coming up. So just keep your eyes peeled for things that they may be doing. And our playwright, Somebody Jones, will be presenting a play of hers titled Black Women Dating White Men. And it's going to be part of the Hollywood Fringe Virtual Festival. And that's going to be happening toward the end of this month. So please just go ahead and jump to their website, hollywoodfringe.com, for some more information. And another thing that I like to do, as well as our shout outs, is every week I like to feature different organizations that could really use our help during this difficult time. And I was taking a chance to talk with somebody, and we came up with a list of some of what we'd like to share for you. And just before we go into it, just remember, no donation is too small. So whatever it is that you can give. With all of the racial tension in the world and June being Pride Month, the following organizations work their hardest to provide support to those who need it the most. So first up, we're going to go on the Pride theme. Let me pop up some information here. Let me get rid of that. So what we have here is TGI Justice Project and the Okra Project. Both of them are supporting the LGBTQ community, and specifically the trans community. On the bottom of the screen here, you'll see the information for all of the organizations that we discuss. Head over to their website to go ahead and find out more information. The TGI Justice Project is a group of transgender and gender variant people inside and outside of prisons, jails, and detention centers. And what they do is they create and unite families in the struggle for survival and freedom. And then the second one here is the Okra Project. And it is a collective that seeks to address the global crisis faced by the Black trans community by bringing home-cooked, healthy, and culturally specific meals and resources to the Black trans people wherever they can be reached. Somebody, can you go ahead and explain why it is that you chose to feature these two different organizations?
Yeah, so first of all, I'll say both of them take international donations, which being from Los Angeles and living in London, that was definitely important to me because I found some organizations that I wanted to donate to, but couldn't. So both of them will take international donations. And the first one I think is specifically important because with all of the protesting going on, people are being thrown in jails. And if you think about it, our trans siblings are most at risk because they can be put in, dangerous positions with, yeah, I mean, I don't need to elaborate because we can all imagine. And then I'll say the Okra Project, who doesn't love food? And I always think about it, like if you're going to give someone a present and you don't know what to get them, no one will be mad at you for giving them food.
Of course, yes.
So I just love that. And I love the idea of, strengthening community through food.
Yes. No, brilliant. I think it's great. And it does. And we all think of it. We all think family table. That's what brings us together. What is there more, nothing brings us together more than food. And we need to be all brought together. So yeah, of course, that's such a fantastic, both of them, fantastic organizations. And then next, in light of the recent racial injustice, both Somebody and I took the opportunity to choose one. We chose the following organizations to highlight. Somebody chose probably one of the most known organizations, which is Black Lives Matter. And the Black Lives Matter Foundation is a global organization in the US, UK, and Canada, whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by the state and by vigilantes. And then the last one that I chose, and I have personally recently donated to this organization, is the Black Visions Project. And it's an organization by Black, trans, and queer-led people, and they're committed to dismantling systems of oppression and violence and shifting the public narrative to create transformative long-term change. So with both of these organizations, please, 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 if you have the means, it doesn't matter if it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $100, whatever it is, every little bit helps to fight for the injustices in our world. I'd just like to thank you, Ben, Elaine, and somebody for joining us today. It's been so much fun, and the discussions have been amazing. It's so nice for us to be able to still try, to do what it is that we can, even though theaters are dark. So I thank you guys both, all of you, very much for being here today.
Thank you as well, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So on behalf of myself, somebody, Elaine, and Ben, I would like to thank you for joining us today for our couch readings. Follow Thornhill Theater Space on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date. And you can also find all of our previous couch readings, as well as our Pittsburgh Fringe Festival production, on our YouTube channel. Join us again next week for Couch Readings week number 9. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.